everyone. This is our third lecture of design of experiments, and in this lecture we will discuss derivations of sum of squares, ANOVA table for CRD and model used in CRD. So in previous lecture we have already seen definitions of sum of squares for treatment, sum of square for error, and sum of square for total. So when we solve any example based on completely randomized design, that is a CRD, then it is difficult to calculate sum of square with the help of that formulas which we discussed in previous lecture. So in this lecture we will derive simple formulas to find sum of squares for treatment and sum of squares for error. So let us go to the derivation part. Now we will discuss one simple formula for a total sum of square. So in previous lecture we have already discussed definitions of sum of square due to total. So sum of square due to total is the sum of square of difference between jth observation due to ith treatment minus grand mean. But when we solve any example based on completely randomized design and when we want to find total sum of square, then it is difficult to use this formula to calculate total sum of squares. So hence now we are going to find one simple formula to find total sum of squares, and the formula is total sum of square equals to summation over I summation over j xij square minus correction factor, where correction factor is x dot dot square upon capital N, means grand total square upon capital N. So let us discuss proof of this theorem. So first consider alleges of the theorem, and the alleges is total sum of square. So total sum of square is defined as summation over I summation over j xij minus x dot dot bar bracket square. Now just take square of this term. So what we get? Summation over I summation over j in bracket xij square plus x dot dot bar square minus 2 times xij into x dot dot bar. Now just take this summation sign inside the bracket. So we get summation over I summation over j xij square plus, now x dot dot bar is independent of this summation sign, or x dot dot bar is a constant term. So summation over I and j can be written as t into ni, means total number of observations into x dot dot bar square minus 2 times. So take x dot dot bar outside the summation sign, and summation over I summation over j xij. So in next step we get summation over I summation over j xij square plus, so this t into ni can be written as capital N into x dot dot bar square minus 2 times x dot dot bar, and we know that summation over I summation over j xij is our grand total. So we get minus 2 into x dot dot bar into grand total. So in next step we get summation xij square plus capital N into x dot dot bar square minus 2 times x dot dot bar into, now this grand total can be written as capital N into grand mean, since we know that grand mean is defined as grand total upon capital N. We get 2 into x dot dot bar into N into x dot dot bar. So here we get 2 times capital N into x dot dot bar. So this plus n into x dot dot bar square minus 2 times n into x dot dot bar square. So in next step we get summation xij square minus capital N into x dot dot bar square. Now this x dot dot bar, that is grand mean, can be written as grand total upon capital N. So we get next step summation xij square minus capital N. Grand mean can be written as grand total upon capital N bracket square. So we get summation xij square minus, now this one n and this one n will get cancelled. So the remaining terms are x dot dot square upon n. And this term is nothing but our correction factor. So we get summation xij square minus correction factor. So in this way we get RHS of our theorem. So when we solve any example based on CRT, we use this simple formula to find total sum of square instead of using that original formula. Now we are going to discuss one next derivation for treatment sum of square. So let us discuss this theorem. So this theorem is treatment sum of square can be written as summation over I xi dot square upon ni minus correction factor, and correction factor is x dot dot square upon capital N, that is grand total square upon capital N. So let us consider LHS of the theorem, and the LHS is SS treatment, that is treatment sum of square. So in previous lecture we have already discussed the definition of treatment sum of square. The definition is summation over I summation over j xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. So since this term is independent of jth term, so we can write it as a summation over I ni in bracket xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. Now just take square of this bracket. So we get summation over I ni in bracket xi dot bar square plus x dot dot bar square minus 2 times xi dot bar into x dot dot bar. Now just take this summation into ni inside the bracket. So we get summation ni into xi dot bar square plus, now x dot dot bar is a constant term, so take outside the summation sign. So x dot dot bar square summation over I into ni minus 2 times x dot dot bar into summation over I ni xi dot bar. Now in next step we get summation into ni. Now this ith treatment mean can be written as ith treatment total upon ith treatment size, that is ni xi dot upon ni bracket square plus x dot dot bar square. Now summation over I can be written as t into this ni, that is total number of observations, minus 2 times x dot dot bar summation over I ni. Here also we write xi dot bar as a grand total of ith treatment total upon ni, xi dot upon ni. So in next step we get, now here this n, this one n and this one n will get cancelled. So the remaining term is summation over I xi dot square upon ni plus capital N, that is t into ni is denoted by capital N, that is total number of observations, into x dot dot bar minus 2 times x dot dot bar, and here this one n and this n will get cancelled, and summation over I xi dot is nothing but grand total. So we write it as a grand total. So in next step we get summation over I xi dot square upon ni plus capital N into x dot dot bar square minus 2 times. Now this grand total can be written as capital N into grand mean. So minus 2 times x dot dot bar capital N into, here is a grand total. Since grand mean can be defined as grand total upon capital N. So here we get 2 times capital N into x dot dot bar. So this minus 2 times x dot dot bar into capital N, and this plus 1 n into x dot dot bar square. So in next step we get, so here we get summation over I xi dot square upon ni minus capital N into x dot dot bar square. Now next step we get summation over I xi dot square upon ni minus, now this grand mean can be written as grand total upon capital N. So we get x dot dot square upon capital N. So this term is nothing but our correction factor. In this way we get RHS of our theorem. So when we solve any example based on completely randomized design, instead of using that formula which we considered earlier, we use this simple formula to find treatment sum of square for that particular data in completely randomized design. So this is what about treatment sum of square and total sum of square. Now we are going to discuss statistical analysis of completely randomized design. So when we consider this design, we are interested to test hypothesis, that is H naught. There is no significant difference between treatment effects. So suppose we want to compare 4 treatments, or suppose we want to compare 4 fertilizers, then we make hypothesis that there is no significant difference between 4 fertilizer effect. Means every output from every fertilizer or output of every fertilizer is same. Means there is no significant difference between fertilizers effect. Versus what is alternative hypothesis? At least 2 treatment effects are differ significantly. So this is what we make hypothesis in completely randomized design. Now we are interested to find ANOVA table for completely randomized design to test this hypothesis. So let us discuss ANOVA table for completely randomized design. So in previous lecture we have already discussed layout for ANOVA table. So same way we get ANOVA table for completely randomized design. So in first column of this table we have sources of variation. So for first one is a treatment, then error, and then we have total. So second column is for degrees of freedom. So for treatment, degrees of freedom is t minus 1. For error, degrees of freedom is capital N minus t, where capital N means total number of observations and t means total number of treatments which we consider for comparison. And for degrees of freedom for total is capital N minus 1. Then third column is of sum of squares. So treatment sum of square is denoted by SST, and we have already discussed formulas for treatment sum of squares. Then second one is a error sum of square is denoted by SSE, and third one is a sum of square due to total is denoted by SS capital. So with the help of sum of squares and its degrees of freedom, we get mean sum of square for treatment and error. So mean sum of square for treatment is denoted by MST, and it is defined as SST upon T minus 1. Then mean sum of square for error is denoted by MSE, and it is defined as sum of square due to error upon its degrees of freedom capital N minus T. So with the help of this mean sum of squares for treatment and error, we get F ratio or variance ratio, that is test statistic value. So here we have test statistic value is denoted by capital F, or we can denote it by capital F calculated equals to, it is defined as MST, that is mean sum of square due to treatment upon mean sum of square due to error, and this follows F distribution with treatment degrees of freedom T minus 1 and error degrees of freedom capital N minus T. So under H0 it follows F distribution with distribution with treatment degrees of freedom and error degrees of freedom. So how we make conclusion about this hypothesis? So when our F calculated value, that is F test statistic value, is greater than F critical value, then we reject H0 at given alpha percent level of significance. So our critical value is F with alpha percent level of significance, treatment degrees of freedom, that is T minus 1, and capital N minus T, that is error degrees of freedom. So when our F calculated value is greater than critical value, then we reject H0, otherwise we accept H0 at given level of significance. So this is what statistical analysis of completely randomized design. Now we are going to discuss one linear model which is used in completely randomized design. So this is the model which we used in completely randomized design. So model is Xij equals to mu plus alpha I plus epsilon ij, where I is running from 1 to t and j is running from 1 to ni. So t means total number of treatments which we consider for comparison, and ni means ith treatment size or number of observations in ith treatment, where this mu is a overall effect and it is a constant term. Then Xij is the jth observation due to ith treatment. Then alpha I is the ith treatment effect. Then epsilon ij is the random error. So this epsilon ij is a random error and it follows IID normal distribution with mean 0 and variance sigma square. So when we define this model in completely randomized design, we make one assumption about this model or for this model, and the assumption is summation over I alpha I into ni equals to 0. So when we consider this model for CRD, we use this assumption, that is summation alpha I into ni equals to 0. So in next lecture, we will discuss least square estimators of these parameters of the model. In this model, mu and alpha I, these are two parameters. So in this way, we discuss model which we used in completely randomized design.